Hello, I'm Calvin Saylor.
And I'm Emma Thomas.
And we are here to inform you about the recent Ebola virus outbreak in Glenview, Illinois.
Ebola is an RNA virus with no known cure or vaccination. Symptoms of Ebola include but are not limited to fever, sore throat, weakness, severe headaches, joint and muscle weakness, diarrhea, vomiting, dehydration, dry hacking coughs, and stomach pain.
A rash, red eyes, hiccups, and internal and external bleeding may be seen in some patients. When the rash develops on dark skin, it is often not recognized until the rash begins to peel. Walls of blood vessels break down and blood gushes from every organ and tissue in the body.
Direct contact with contaminated blood or bodily fluid is how this disease is transmitted. Ebola has a 90% mortality rate and usually kills within days of exposure. It has a 2 to 21 day incubation rate before it starts taking over.
The only way to prevent Ebola is to stay away from anyone who has Ebola or to stay away from dead bodies that might be contaminated with Ebola. Death usually occurs during the second week of symptoms. Death in Ebola is usually from massive blood loss. The first outbreak of the Ebola virus was in 1976 in the Democratic Republic of Congo. However, the worst outbreak was in 1995. We will now cut briefly to our sports reporter, Clayton Nims.
Thank you, Calvin and Emma. And now from Africa, where there's recently been an Ebola outbreak right in front of the World Cup. The players cannot participate because they have all died.
What?
Now for puppies.
What?
Ah, puppies, God's most precious creature. Now, back to Ebola.
250 citizens of Glenview have died from Ebola thus far.
However, 250 people is nothing compared to the national death total, which has reached 1.4 million people. You know,
That's outrageous.
This really has touched the lives of everyone.
And now to the field with Calvin Saylor with a real live Ebola case.
Calvin Saylor here on the streets of Glenview. Now, the Ebola virus has spread rapidly through all of Glenview. Pan over this way. As you can see right here, we have a dead Ebola victim. Zoom in close on that neck. There, back up at me. Now, as you can see, his blood is just pouring out of his skin uncontrollably. He's dead right now. And if you don't stay inside and get away from anyone who might have Ebola, you will die too.
Thank you, Calvin. The U.S. government isn't positive how the Ebola virus got into the U.S., but it is thought that it arrived with a shipment of apes for the San Diego Zoo.
Shocking.
I know, quite. And now, a special report from our good buddy Sock Puppet.
This should be interesting.
Hello there! Make sure you wash your hands so you don't die. Thank you.
No, thank you.
I'm Emma.
And I'm Calvin.
And this has been an Ebola update.